Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of UA Eats. I'm UA, and I am in Baltimore, Maryland right now. So I went down to DC to do some sightseeing. The sightseeing didn't really work out, but I did get to do a tiny bit, but it mostly was bad weather. I also went down there primarily to review Ben's Chili Bowl. So, you know, on the way back, I decided to stop by in Baltimore to visit a friend of mine. And while in Baltimore, I hear that I can't leave Bmore without eating at probably Bmore's most famous and iconic restaurant, the legendary Chaps Pit Beef. And yeah, this place has a ton of accolades, like it's iconic locally and internationally. I mean, some of you may know it from the TV show The Wire that took place here in Baltimore. Lots of people have came here, like, you know, I'm talking people like Anthony Bourdain has featured this place. All sorts of accolades from like the Washington Post, Food Network, New York Times. Yeah, you know, Adam Richman came here, it looks like. Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives, Guy Fieri. Honestly, they have no shortage of accolades on their wall of fame here, and yeah, I'm gonna take a step backwards so you can see. Just look at all the accolades this place has right on their wall, right on the front of their wall. So now this place specializes in pit beef. And pit beef, my understanding is that pit beef is a kind of barbecue. Well, no, I guess it's technically not barbecue because I guess barbecue is low and slow, right? I guess pit beef is almost more like express barbecue. Like it's cooked quickly, and I think over high heat, over charcoal. So yeah, it's like a more charcoaly, smoky, express, in a hurry barbecue, you might say, if you don't want to do it low and slow. So now this place is kind of right next to like a busy highway almost, like at least a busy road. I kind of am always fascinated by like the food culture that came from like car culture, from like highway road culture, and that's also part of the reason why I like diners a lot, because a lot of people don't realize that diners popped up because people would be driving through up and down the East Coast, particularly New Jersey, between the major cities, and they would want to eat, so they would pop into a diner and eat whatever they wanted there. So I think pit beef is similar, like you know, cooking some barbecued or charcoal grilled meat, entice people with that delicious charcoal flavor, and yeah, they might stop in and get a bite if they're hungry, or you might make them hungry with the meat. So anyways, can't wait to try this place. It's been on my bucket list for a while, so let's check it out. Oh, sure, go ahead. So the platter comes with fries. Do you have like a sandwich combo that comes with fries?
No, it's only like platters.
Ah, okay. Yeah. Well, the platter's like open-faced?
Yeah, it's open-faced.
Okay.
Platter, turkey platter, burger platter.
Okay. The sandwich is more like
sandwich.
The sandwich is probably what you guys are known for?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let me do the beef sandwich. The pit beef sandwich, yeah. Oh.
Medium well, rare.
Is rare more traditional?
Yeah. You get rare, medium.
Most people get rare or medium?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll do medium. Medium, that's pretty standard?
Yeah.
Okay.
Medium, 8 ounce.
Let me also try the corned beef sandwich.
On rye?
Yes. Does that come with mustard or no?
No, you do. It's around corner.
Okay. Okay, let me also do fries with gravy. Small, yeah.
That's it?
That's it?
$29.52.
All right, guys, so we are now inside of the famous Chaps Pit Beef. Well, not my words, their words. It says famous here, so I guess I'll take their word for it, although I guess I'll take a lot of other people's word for it too, based on the people on the wall outside. But yeah, we're inside of Chaps Pit Beef, and yeah, this place is pretty famous, not just from TV, but I think it's also just regionally famous. And there's not too many people in here right now. We're here at like an off-peak time. We're here at about 3 o'clock. So yeah, I just finished hanging out with a friend of mine, but you know, I'm still kind of hungry. So I figured instead of going and checking in at the hotel, I figured I would review a Baltimore icon. It's a nice restaurant though. I mean, as far as like these casual, almost sort of fast food style restaurants, but in this case, kind of like a barbecue style restaurant. It's really, really spacious, really, really clean, really well lit, which is good for content creation. Now they have a lot of stuff on their menu. I mean, I almost thought that a place like this, I thought that the menu would be more streamlined, more small, but they have a lot of stuff. I know that the pit beef is the thing to get here. I ordered it medium. I think I heard at one point that you should get it rare, but hopefully I was not mistaken in getting it medium. The guy at the cash register seemed to think it was okay to get it medium. But they have all sorts of things too. They have all sorts of selections. Like I mentioned diner earlier, and even though this is like a pit beef barbecue sort of spot, like this almost makes me feel diner-like with how many items there are with such small font. But I figured I knew what I was gonna get. I was gonna get a pit beef no matter what, and you know what? I actually hear that they have good fries here, fries with gravy. I do like poutine, so I am partial to fries and gravy, and I actually hear that, believe it or not, I hear they make a killer corned beef. So, now I know a thing or two about corned beef back up north. So, let's give this a try. Okay, I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to figure out which is which. I guess we'll figure out as we go. Ooh, the fries are actually leaking. Ooh, so hot, like so fresh, it's so hot. It's like burning my fingers. But yeah, it looks like a cleanup on aisle 12. But this is our food, and I get the feeling that this is the corned beef because it's more square. Like he did mention that it is on rye, so I'm gonna presume that this is the corned beef. This is kind of more corned beef shaped, I presume. And I'm gonna guess that this is the pit beef. So first, let's release the fries before they get too, ooh, it's like almost too slippery for me to grasp. Oh, sorry, there you go. Yeah, like the gravy is like spilled out, it's almost too slippery. We got ourselves some gravied fries. It's like poutine without cheese. And then let's open up our sandwiches, see what we got. Yep, this here is our pit beef sandwich for sure. So we'll leave the corned beef. We'll leave it warm inside the wrapper. But yeah, I've seen pictures of the pit beef online, and this is indeed what it looks like. Can't wait to try this. Although what I will say is that I think the bread is looking kind of ordinary. Like this kind of just looks like a very mid hamburger bread, like kind of like the bread that you get at like ShopRite. Processed bread with all sorts of preservatives and like sugar and stuff in it. Kind of reminds me of the bread at Wendy's in a way. Sliced super thin is my understanding of how this is made. And even though it's grilled over charcoal, I don't know. I guess I was expecting, I don't know, maybe I was expecting it to look more grilled. Like, I don't know, maybe I was naive to expect some sort of bark or something, or grill marks. But yeah, I guess they grilled it and then they sliced it thin. So, although it does just kind of look like a typical roast beef sandwich, but it's the taste that counts. So, nothing to it but to review it. Am I right? That's pretty interesting. I mean, it does taste really smoky. It does taste charcoaly. Like I said, it didn't look like it had charcoal flavor, but it does. And it's really, really juicy, really, really tender. Although, like, there are parts of, like, connected, like, sinew and stuff that kind of make parts of it hard to chew apart, as you saw earlier. But it's very, very, very tender. Although, like I said, this bread is nothing special. This bread is pretty much just like your, your Wendy's, your fast food, ShopRite grocery store quality bread from a bag. But the beef is incredibly tender. I will say though that it's a little bit lacking in seasoning. Like it definitely needs some more salt. Like it's tender and it's juicy, but it definitely needs more salt. But I got some barbecue sauce earlier. I attempted to get it. It took a few tries, but maybe the barbecue sauce will help in this regard. Yeah, I had some trouble filming with just two hands, so yeah, let's just do it like this. Put some barbecue sauce on this guy. I actually hear that there's like a horseradish sauce that tends to go with this, which would fit like the roast beef or prime rib comparison I made earlier. So let's see if they have that up there. Maybe I just missed it. So they have all sorts of different sauces. I wasn't sure which one to get, so I just went for their house barbecue sauce. But to be honest, I feel like that didn't really do the trick because the barbecue sauce is sweet and tangy, and it kind of covers up the innate flavor of the pit beef. Like the pit beef needed some salt rather than just add like a little bit of flavor as well as seasoning to it. The sauce kind of just makes the whole thing taste sweet and covers up what is good about the pit beef, being its tenderness and its juiciness, although it seems like parts of the pit beef were also less juicy than other parts. Like it seemed like my first bite was more juicy. The bite deeper in is almost a little bit more dry. So I think there's like a horseradish sauce here. Let me see if I can try to find it. Maybe that will help. There you go. I found it. The horseradish sauce, and it looks like it was right next to the house barbecue. I guess I'm just blind. So one sec while I squirt this. All right, we're back with our horseradish sauce. Ooh, I didn't even notice that we're sitting in front of the fires of hell, like Guy Fieri's Flavor Town. But yeah, I think I hear that the horseradish sauce is like a typical pairing with pit beef. And to be honest, that would make sense since, you know, this is kind of more like a roast beef, I would say, than like a barbecue. It definitely has more of a roast beef appearance and more of a roast beef flavor profile. And horseradish and a roast beef is a classic pairing, you know? So let's give this a try, see if this helps. Okay, just slather some onto this bite right here and give this a try. The horseradish sauce is pretty good. Like, it does pair with it perfectly. I mean, barbecue sauce should go with barbecue, and now I see why this isn't really, I think it's not technically considered barbecue. It's more so like its own thing. I would say it's a kind of more like roast beef than it is like barbecue, and in that case, horseradish is just a natural pairing with the pit beef in this case, and the sauce is great. I mean, it's not too strong, like it doesn't have too much of like a, similar to wasabi kick, like it's not like a spice challenge but for your nostrils. Like it's like a subtle like mustardy, horseradishy flavor. I don't know if you can see it, but it's kind of grainy too, so it even almost offers a little bit of texture. The sauce is great and it makes the flavor of this guy incredible, but I still think it's lacking in seasoning. It's still lacking in salt, and maybe I really should have went with a rare rather than a medium, because I do think parts of it are juicier than others. That first bite was decent, but other bites have been more lackluster, and I'm also not a fan of some of the, you know, the hard to chew bits of the roast beef, like some of the tendons or sinews still connected, hard to chew through and not really pleasant. So I don't know. I mean, obviously, I'm not exactly a pit master or anything, like a pit beef master. I feel like this whole thing might benefit from like a Chicago Italian beef style, like a soaking in jus. Like I feel like adding some jus, not necessarily dipping the whole sandwich, but adding some jus to this would really help to infuse more beefy flavor back into it and sort of make it more more juicy, more tender. And yeah, I would say unfortunately, the first bite, not bad, but under-seasoned. Other bites have been more dry, I would say. So definitely get horseradish to help balance out the under-seasoned nature of it. The horseradish is a hit. Before we eat the corned beef, let's try the gravy fries. And it looks like they're just fries with gravy. It's a shame they didn't go a step further and make these make this poutine or something. So let's give it a try. Okay. Okay. Well, that gravy is incredible, and the fries are good too. I mean, it's a shame they didn't add some curds and just turn it into like an incredible poutine, but that's already good enough on its own. Like, I love poutine because the savory gravy, the fresh fries, and like the squeaky cheese, like the squeaky cheese kind of completes the whole thing by adding some texture to like the soft and soggy gravy fries. But this gravy is incredible. Like, it might look a little watery, but it's not. Like, actually, as you can see, when I tilt the I thought it was gonna be watery at first, but when I tilt the container, it doesn't flow over. That means that it's not watery. It just kind of has like a nice shine to it. The gravy tastes like incredibly well balanced. I don't even know how to explain it. Like, it's not like, I love beefy flavored gravies, but it's not too beefy. Like, it's got something mixed into it, like maybe like stock, like maybe chicken stock, or like something to like lighten up its incredible savory beefy flavor. But whatever they're adding into this gravy, it makes it almost taste light, although I think eating this while it's hot is essential because it's still rather warm, still rather piping hot, and I think that is essential to the flavor here. And the fries are great. I mean, you can tell by the way they look. Like, here, I'll grab one. Like, the way the skin is still on them, just the shape of them, you can tell that these are being cut in-house. Like, these are being cut from like fresh potatoes in-house. So I would say these fries are kind of reminiscent of Five Guys fries, like in terms of quality and like freshness. So wonderful. And lastly, it's time to try the corned beef. Yep, that's the rye. This is definitely corned beef if I've ever seen it, although I'm not sure if this is quite gonna be epic Jewish deli quality corned beef, but hey, let's try their take on it. You know, we won't be too harsh, so. You know, not bad. You know, it's actually, it's got a nice brine flavor. Like, I was expecting this to taste way more generic, like almost like a generic corned beef that you get at the store, or like, you know, from like Boar's Head or from the supermarket or something. You know, it's a pit beef place corned beef. Wasn't sure what to expect, but actually the brine flavor of this is quite nice, and it's quite tender. I mean, just look at the way it just easily comes apart, just like that, with like almost no force. Parts of it have some delicious fatty bits intact that taste quite delicious, and unlike the pit beef sandwich, this corned beef is sufficiently salty. Like, it's not undersalted at all, this corned beef. It's quite nice. So all it's missing now is mustard, and unfortunately I don't think they have brown mustard here. They only have yellow mustard, and I really much prefer this with brown mustard. So, but we might have to do the best we can. So we're gonna get some mustard, and yeah, we're gonna share final thoughts outside. So stay tuned. All right, guys, so I'm inside my car. I'm not outside because of two reasons. On one hand, it's kind of windy out, so it's not really pleasant to be outside, plus it might interfere with the microphone. On the other hand, it's because the parking lot's not very big, and yeah, outside is the space where people enter and exit the restaurant, so it's not really very discreet to be outside, so I don't want people to hear my review, and you know, I don't want it to bias their opinion or anything, but anyways, I just finished eating at Chaps Pit Beef, and what I will say is that most things I ordered, I liked. Like, I liked the corned beef. I thought that the corned beef actually tasted kind of nice. And the fries and gravy were excellent. Like, I demolished those fries and gravy. That gravy was just incredible. Like, I would come here just to eat those fries and gravy. That gravy recipe is incredible, and you know, pair that with fresh hand-cut fries, and you can't really go wrong. But unfortunately, the pit beef sandwich itself, like, you know, what this whole place is about, you know, after all, this place is called Chaps Pit Beef. It's not called Chaps Corned Beef or Chaps, you know, gravy with fries, Chaps almost poutine. I felt like the pit beef sandwich itself was not really my cup of tea. The first bite was not too bad, but other bites were more dry, and I don't know, a lot of parts of the beef were kind of hard to chew through, like they were sort of connected, and like, I don't know, it was probably like sinew or something, but I don't know, it kind of made the sandwich difficult to eat at times. And on top of that, like, yeah, the meat was just not juicy enough, and it was under seasoned. Like, it needed more salt, I felt like. I feel like it needed something to take the flavor of the beef over the edge, not necessarily to pair with it. Like, the horseradish sauce definitely helped to pair with it, but the beef itself needed to be more, it needed stronger flavor, and it needed to be more juicy and not so dry and bland. So, but anyways, guys, that is just my opinion. You know, this place is a Baltimore icon. I'm sure many of you guys will disagree with my opinion. I'm sure many people love this place, and yeah, you know, if you disagree with me, then that's totally fine. This is just my take. If you've been to Chaps Pit Beef before, did you think it was great? Did you think it was iconic and as great as, like, you know, all these publications and The Wire made it seem? Let me know in the comments, because great minds eat alike. And as always, if you like my content, like and subscribe. That way you stay up to date whenever I post another video. So I wonder if I have time to explore Baltimore a bit. So there's actually a decent amount of history in this city. So maybe I should check out some museums or something. So until next time, I'll see you later.